expensive operation you got here, lots of prize money. How do you think this thing makes money in the long term? What are the
I'm
sources?
done. I'm seriously done, Jonathan, talking about, like how it's going to make money and all that. We got all of these amazing races. That's what we're going to talk about. How to answer that question. You can go back over all of the, stuff that I've talked to you about and everybody else. And I've told you guys how it's going to make money. And if you want to figure out how it's going to make money, look at any other successful business or any other successful sport. Same thing. It's not that. We're talking about who's going to win between Masai Russell and Jasmine Camacho Quinn and Serena. These guys are amazing. Akira Nugent's here. That's what we're talking about. It's time to put away all of the other stuff and go, what do we have in front of us? The same thing that you and I have been talking about for years on social media. Oh, we wish we could have more athletes compete against each other. We wish we could have more excitement. We wish we could have better television broadcast deals. We got that because of these athletes.
When I was a little kid, one of the very first lessons my mother taught me was do not snitch. Don't snitch on anybody. As I've gotten older, I've moved away from these principles. I've learned that certain people deserve to get snitched on. There are certain people who are dangerous to the community, who are threats to the general public, and they should be told on. They definitely should be told on. They should go to the depths of hell. In this particular case, Michael Johnson is in my crosshairs. I'm extremely, extremely tempted to report him to the FBI. Not because I hate him, but because I believe personally that he engaged in fraud, deception, and manipulation in his operations of Grand Slam Track. Now, we all know what's been going on with Grand Slam Track. Grand Slam Track, claimed they had all this money. They did not have the money. They filed bankruptcy within 6 or 8 months of the first track meet that they had. Turns out they didn't have the money they said they had. And not only did they not have the money they said they had, when they knew they didn't have the money, they continued to have meets and operated in bad faith. And all of this stuff is coming out in court documents right now, in bankruptcy court. In federal criminal court, that is, there is a statute called wire fraud, mail fraud, and honest services fraud. And these frauds typically involve an intent to defraud or deception, and usually has a loss to some sort of victim. I believe all of these elements are present in this particular situation. I think that Michael Johnson, in his deception to the public, to the athletes, to the vendors, committed fraud. And I'm extremely tempted to contact the FBI and the Secret Service about this guy. Not because I want to see him fail or in prison, but because I want to see him be held accountable. Now, let's not forget, I never have liked Michael Johnson. I didn't like him since 1997 when he faked the injury and pulled up in his one-on-one race with Donovan Bailey. Later on, when I found out how he raised his son, Sebastian, aka Celindis Johnson, who's a transgender female, when he came out and I found out that he was he was a woman, I was very disappointed in the way he raised his children. Well, his child. So here we are now, dealing with this Grand Slam Track debacle. And I am caught in a rock and a hard place, at a crossroads. Should I snitch on Michael Johnson? Now, everybody knows, about 2 years ago, I snitched on Arian Knight. Arian Knight had actually beat his case for Trembolone. Then the case was appealed to the Court of Arbitration of Sport. I contacted the feds, got his phone tapped, and I contacted the appropriate authorities to make sure that his case was appealed. If you do your research, everybody know I did this. And after his case was appealed by the AIU, Arian Knight was subsequently banned for 4 years from track and field. So I have no remorse about that. I sleep very, very good at night, and I would do it again if I had the opportunity. But knowing that Grand Slam Track has defrauded all of the vendors, in the bankruptcy filing, they only want to pay the vendors like $200,000 split across a lot of vendors, to compensate them for $1 million worth of work that they've done. They want to pay the athletes off. You know, I think this is a dumb plan. They should have folded the company when they knew that that they were having issues, because athletes like Gabby Thomas has already came out and said she's not rocking with them no more. To me, once you've lost the confidence of the general public or whoever, it's better to just abort ship and come back at a different angle, or have somebody else come back and you just be a consultant. Because there's no way in God's green earth that any real athletes is going to sign with Grand Slam Track knowing that they probably won't be paid. That's just what the bottom line is. And Michael Johnson knew this. We all know Michael Johnson knew this information long before Grand Slam actually collapsed. They continued to throw track meets, put track meets on, even though they knew they would not be able to pay the vendors or the athletes. So based upon that, the preponderance of evidence shows to me that Michael Johnson and some of the people at Grand Slam Track engaged in fraud. A lot of willing and dealing, self-dealing. You know, their relation with Sirius Mag has come under scrutiny. And I think that there are some things here that need to be addressed. There are definitely some things that need to be addressed. Maybe the FBI needs to pull back the layers on this. I want to know what the general public thinks. I've been on the FBI website multiple times. I've stayed up many nights thinking about this. I could file a complaint right now. I could reach out to them right now and say, hey, there's a major fraud that went on. Millions of dollars are owed to vendors, to athletes. These people engaged in deception. Something needs to be done about this right now. I can do that today if I want to. But I want to know what the general public think. I want to know what you guys think. Should I report Michael Johnson to the feds? Should I? Or should I just let it play out in bankruptcy court, let Grand Slam Track come back, and let, you know, more of my parlays hit from Grand Slam Track? Let's not forget, Grand Slam Track put out into the media last year that they were investigating me, Mr. 100K a day. Not because of some criminal act I engaged in, not because of anything that was nefarious that I was engaged in, but because I heckled Gabby Thomas at a track meet, and I taunted her online. For those of you who don't remember, take a listen. This is what happened at Grand Slam Track Philadelphia last year.
Don't choke Gabby like you did yesterday, Gabby.
This is what American track superstar Gabby Thomas heard as she studied for a women's 100-meter dash over the weekend.
Melissa got married this year, got a black husband. Yeah. Gabby got a white guy. Yeah. I want Melissa to win.
This video from a Philadelphia competition posted on X. The user posting, quote, I made Gabby lose by heckling her, and it made my parlay win.
You a choke artist!
The user, who hasn't been publicly identified, also posting screenshots of his FanDuel parlay winnings, showing he made nearly $700 in part by betting on Thomas's competitor, Melissa Jefferson Wooden. A second post shows a confrontation at the event between him and Thomas.
You know what I'm doing here? I support track and field. You going down, Gabby?
Thomas firing back at the heckler on X, saying, quote, this grown man followed me around the track as I took pictures and signed autographs for fans, mostly children, shouting personal insults, something the poster denies.
What she said on the tweet was an absolute lie. It was done for sympathy.
Also posting this video showing him doing the same heckling at the men's event.
The biggest hater in track and field. Remember that.
Former Olympian Michael Johnson, who founded the track league, lent his public support for Thomas on X, adding, quote, we are working to identify the individual involved and will take appropriate action as necessary. Despicable behavior like this will not be tolerated, while Grand Slam Track promises a full investigation.
So in the end, we see the ultimate irony in this situation. Grand Slam Track has said that they wanted to investigate me because they wanted to protect Gabby Thomas, because they wanted to protect her from being heckled at a track meet. Gabby Thomas, of course, after all the money issues with Grand Slam Track, she's went on record as saying she would not run for Grand Slam Track or participate with Grand Slam Track anymore. They owe her about $200,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, maybe more, but about $200,000. So she ain't even rocking with them no more. That's how it be. You go and ride for somebody like Gabby Thomas, who's fake as hell, but then when it come down to it, she won't ride for you. Kenny Benerick and Melissa Jefferson has come out and said, hey, it wrote a letter to the bankruptcy court and said, hey, we would compete for Grand Slam track again as long as everything's set up right. But of course, Gabby Thomas has stood against that. She wants to go deal with Aplos. It just goes to show the mentality of these people. They'll go out and pretend like, oh, we're here to protect Gabby. And Gabby, of course, will accept that fake protection from a situation that was manufactured to begin with. But then when they need her to ride for them and to stand up for them in bankruptcy court to save them, save their company, Gabby Thomas ain't nowhere near to be found. She ain't nowhere near around to be found because she's fake. So you know what? Since Grand Slam track act like they wanted to get me investigated, since they wanted to get me jammed up because I taunted a dumb athlete at a track meet, I think I should go ahead and get them investigated. Because this is what they told the media. They want to investigate me for heckling. Why shouldn't I get them investigated for fraud? By the feds. Real authorities. Not bankruptcy court, but real authorities. I think I'd be justified in doing so. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. Am I justified for reporting Michael Johnson and Grand Slam track to the federal government, to the FBI? Because I can guarantee they'll uncover some fraud in this situation. I guarantee they will. And I'll have no remorse about it. If I got Michael Johnson put in handcuffs, I will have no remorse about it at all. You can believe that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And make sure you guys become, join the Telegram group. We have a track and field sports betting discussion group on Telegram. We cover all the odds, the World Indoor Championships, the Diamond League, Outdoor Championships, Olympics, all the upcoming meets in which you can sports bet on. Because I think that's probably the most important, the most entertaining and engaging thing that is part of track and field, especially in a down year like 2026. The link to the Telegram group is in the bio. I am the king of track and field. I am the king of track and field. And I rule with autonomy. Till next time, y'all. This is Mr. 100K a day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should I report them to the FBI, put the complaint in, go ahead, work with them to take down Michael Johnson? Or should I let him slide? Let Grand Slam track, or hope Grand Slam track come back and just hit more parlays and get more money off of these dumb people? Tell me what y'all think. Till next time, I'm out this joint. Peace.